Hey guys, it's Autumn and Angel, and this is, fingers crossed, the last part to this series where I am doing this update because the update's over and we're already on a new update. So let's just go ahead and get into the video.
Out of my way, Candy Apple Cookie!
Where do you think you're going? You'll have to deal with me first! Oh, this is so much fun! Let's see which one of us deserves to be with Shadow Milk Cookie himself!
If you're leaving me with no other choice, very well.
Oh, yes! Yes! Fight me! Foolish cookies! Run as far as you can!
Those two are so sibling-coded. Also, I wonder if the reason why Candy Apple Cookie is so obsessed with Shadow Milk is because she doesn't have a father figure and she just craves that fatherly affection. Maybe that's why she's constantly obsessing over Shadow Milk Cookie.
And here I thought you're just some weirdo who talks to himself all the time.
Lovely. Now get out of my way.
Fine! Fine! No need to be so grumpy. I wonder how far those foolish cookies managed to... What? Who's there?
Well, well, well. I hear someone was a bad cookie. Now, what should I do with you? Tear you to shreds here and now? Hold on a moment. Our little friends likely went to Pure Vanilla Cookie. Just what could be happening in his chambers? You wish to volunteer? Very well. I trust you might find out something useful.
Yes, Shadow Milk Cookie. You're the wisest, kindest.
I really don't know how Candy Apple wound up winning Shadow Milk's favorite because she did kind of go against what he wanted her to do. She just kind of ignored him and did her own thing. But then again, she is incredibly loyal, so she was just doing her own thing, rebelling, I guess. But whenever I saw this moment, I literally thought that Shadow Milk was going to kill her. I'm surprised he didn't. And that just goes to show how much he truly does care about them, you know?
Spare no paint, broader strokes, more layers.
All together, move your brushes, brush, stroke, dab.
Trespassers, you are not allowed in our workshop.
Hey, I hear someone's voice coming from behind this door. Why don't we ask if they saw Pure Vanilla Cookie?
Look at the paintings in the background. So in the left corner, we have a painting of Shadow Milk as like an old wizard character. And then we have the snake. But then, of course, in other scenes where there's other paintings of him as like different people, I'm wondering if at first he was changing his appearance to try and like not be himself to get the approval of other people. And so whenever that didn't work, he was already far into lying because he was lying about himself, that he just kind of went downhill and went crazy. That's just a theory that I'm just throwing in here. I don't even think it's true. I'm just throwing it in here as a possibility, just randomly popped in my mind. I don't think it's true. I just figured I should say something.
In our ability to manufacture all of them, tailored to your particular needs. My job is to oversee this process. By the way, what brought you here?
We're searching for Pure Vanilla Cookie. Have you seen him? He smiles a lot and smells like a big vanilla pod.
He hasn't exactly been smiling recently. So going, yeah, he smiles a lot is not the best description at the moment. I mean, you could say he has blonde hair and wears a navy blue hat and a navy blue cloak and has 2 different colored eyes. I mean, that's a way better description of him than he smiles a lot and he smells like vanilla. It's Why not just describe his appearance?
This cookie resides at the end of the hallway of distorted mirrors. But be wary. Let your guard down and you'll get trapped behind the glass.
Ah, can you believe it? The rumor weaver lied to us. We went in the opposite direction.
Buddy, I want you to just restate that entire sentence very slowly and listen to every single word you said. I can't believe the rumor weaver lied to us. What did you expect? Literally, if it has like rumor or lie in the name, it's gonna be a lie. Y'all are too trusting. I seriously think that the writers kind of dumbed them down for this update because that's just so obvious. He's like, I can't believe they lied to us. What do you mean that you can't believe? This whole place is about lies. Okay, I mean, Wizard Cookie gets it. I mean, look what he's saying. He's like, this one's on us. Yeah, it is.
There you are.
Black Sapphire Cookie? How did you find us?
Allow me to skip the niceties. Cut the cameras. This part is not going to be televised. You've got nowhere to run. Rumors and lies always follow you until the very end.
He's got a lot of good quotes. Comment your favorite Black Sapphire Cookie quote for a chance to be featured in my upcoming Black Sapphire Once Said video. I plan on making that video. So far, I have enough quotes to make up like a minute, but I need more. So if you could just comment your favorite quotes and where I could find them. If you can't like tell me where you found them, just comment your favorite quote and I'll find it. But yeah, just please comment your favorite quotes of his.
Yes, I see your every step. And when I'm done with you, I'll make sure to spread word of your most shameful defeat.
No, you won't. Rumors don't scare us. We'll find Pure Vanilla Cookie and escape this place together.
Oh yeah? Well then, viewer discretion is advised. The following scenes will be horrifying. You don't deserve the spotlight.
Maybe, but it doesn't change the fact that we won.
He lost and like instantly became petty. He's like, you don't deserve the spotlight. That is like one of the most diva responses I've heard from him. It's like, there are so many more things that you could say to be effective, but just going, you don't deserve the spotlight makes you sound like a diva, and it's just, you don't have a comeback.
Master Shadow Milk Cookie, forgive me. I've lost them. The gnats likely flew straight to Pure Vanilla Cookie.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm not going to go after them. Just yet.
Huh?
It's all part of the plan. I wonder what your next step will be, Pure Vanilla Cookie.
So, Shadow Milk does not really make sense to me in this moment. You'd think that he'd be more hesitant. He'd be a lot smarter about this. Because at the moment, he has Pure Vanilla Cookie, like, in the palm of his hand. But the problem is, he's putting too much trust in that Pure Vanilla Cookie is corrupted. That he's not really looking at the logical side of it, which is like, this only just happened. There's not enough proof to show me that he's loyal. So, he's putting a bit too much trust in that, and he's underestimating Pure Vanilla Cookie in general, which is going to be his downfall.
Pure Vanilla Cookie! Pure Vanilla Cookie! It's us! We came to rescue you! The path is clear. It's time to escape!
So this entire conversation that Pure Vanilla Cookie is having right now, where he's like, escape, I'm not a prisoner, I'm here, like, I came here because I wanted to. That, it's all a lie. This entire conversation is a lie. He's lying. But if he wasn't lying, that, it just goes to show how much a person can change once they go through so much trauma. And some things that I have noticed while looking at this dialogue is the things that he's stating aren't exactly lies. Like he's not full on said that he sided with Shadow Milk Cookie, but he's saying I understand him. That's not a lie. He's saying I understand him and just talking about Shadow Milk Cookie. Like what he's saying is true. And he's not lying, but he is lying. It's basically the way that he's talking. Shadow Milk Cookie is interpreting it as he's on my side now, but Pure Vanilla never full on stated that. So technically he's not lying as well as lying at the same time because he's not correcting anyone. It's very interesting the way this is going. And then he says something that is really important. He says, I'm no longer going to lie to myself and listen to the fear in my heart. That's not the exact line. I've looked at it like a million times. I still can't quote it exactly, but it's in there. That's an incredibly important thing for him to say because he has self-esteem issues. He has this, I keep calling it a savior complex, which basically, I don't actually know what to call it. I'm calling it that, but what I mean is he thinks that he has to do everything, and if he makes a tiny mistake, it's on him. And so he thinks he needs to be like this savior, so every time he makes a mistake, he's beating himself up for it when he's a person too, so he's allowed to make these mistakes, but he's not letting himself make mistakes, and he just beats himself up for it. So he's like, I'm no longer going to lie to myself, which means he's not going to tell himself he has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. And he's like, I'm no longer going to listen to the fear in my heart. He's no longer going to be afraid of making these mistakes. He's not going to lie to himself anymore. He's not going to avoid his past and the mistakes that he's made. He's going to acknowledge them, and he's going to move on. Now, when he says he's lost interest in the outside world, and I will reside in his tower, and also that he just doesn't really care anymore, that part's all a lie. He still cares deeply about everything. Like the part where he's acting like, I really don't care, I'm not going to do anything about it, that part is a lie. So he is lying to a point.
And most importantly, how can Pure Vanilla Cookie be a liar? A real liar would never admit that about himself.
Dang, they managed to find a loophole that I didn't. Also, did the game writers just make them smart for a split second? Because now this is how they normally react. Because this was a smart move on their part, saying that. But throughout this entire update, this surprises me that they've come up with this conclusion on their own, because they've not really been that smart. But then all of a sudden, they're smart.
Cards, please tell otherwise. Please show something good. No, the best. Pure Vanilla Cookie, that doesn't count. Let us try. He knew what to do with the cards as the fortune teller, Cookie. Not again! Pure Vanilla Cookie?
Open up! Where are they? Master Shadow Milk Cookie wants your little friends.
Pure Vanilla Cookie?
Not gonna lie, but the way that Ginger Brave just screamed, Pure Vanilla Cookie, it sounded like a person just watched their sibling eat the last piece of food that they were just reaching for. It's like that's what it reminded me of. It's like whenever you are reaching for like the last dessert and your sibling notices and they grab it and just shove it in their mouth. It sounded like the way that you would yell their name when your sibling did that. That's what it sounded like to me.
Master Shadow Milk Cookie wants to see you as well. He will administer punishment to our, bothersome little guests.
So someone commented on one of my videos. I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what video they commented on to go back and find it, but they said that Black Sapphire basically implied that he wanted to kill Gingerbrave, Wizard Cookie, and Strawberry Cookie himself, but that Shadow Milk Cookie wouldn't let him. And yeah, that definitely, he definitely did imply it. And whenever he's talking about how Shadow Milk Cookie's going to punish them, he sounds so annoyed when he says that. It's like, he's going to do it instead of me. He sounds very annoyed, and it's hilarious.
Oh, I would love to see them suffer. What about you? Will you stand the agony of your former friends,
The implications of the fact that they're literally going to torture Gingerbrave, Strawberry, and Wizard Cookie. It's like they're literally going to torture them. And then Black Sapphire Cookie has a little big brother moment where he reminds me of his older sibling. He's like, I don't like you. I want to torture you. But, by the way, my sister's been in a bad mood lately, so you might want to avoid her. That's just like such an older sibling thing to do. It's just like, hey, I don't like you, but my little sister's in a bad mood, so you might want to avoid her. Because I might not like you, but I like you enough to where I don't want you to have to deal with her. Because she's insane. Like, that's what, the way he said that, that's what it sounds like he's saying. Basically, it's like such an older sibling thing to do.
Oh, did you fail to convince your friends to leave? Tough luck. What's even worse, no one leaves this tower without my permission and goes unpunished.
Yes, Shadow Milk Cookie! Punish them!
I absolutely love how Candy Apple sounds with her high-pitched voice. Like, she already has a high-pitched voice, but then it's been pitched a lot higher, and it just sounds hilarious and adorable. Also, like I have said before, I'm pretty certain that the reason that Candy Apple is obsessed with Shadow Milk Cookie is because she doesn't have a father figure in her life, so she looks to Shadow Milk Cookie to be the father figure. And obviously, he's not a good father figure, so in order to get that recognition that she needs, she's constantly acting out. She is basically acting insane. She's going insane just because she wants his approval. And she's going, yes, Shadow Milk Cookie, punish them, yada yada yada. It's like, that's incredibly dark. But she knows that's what Shadow Milk wants to do, so she's rooting for him, just so that he knows that she's loyal to him, because she just craves his approval, because she needs a father figure in her life. And I think that Black Sapphire took to that differently, because I'm pretty certain they are siblings, and he does not have a father figure either. So I think the way that he's taken to it is, other than Candy Apple, who's like, I'm going to do everything he wants, and I'm going to do like, I'm going to agree with everything he says. Black Sapphire has taken it to, I'm going to act exactly like him. I'm going to be his mini-me, and I'm going to follow his word to the exact directions and do exactly as he says. While Candy Apple's like, I'm going to just do whatever I want that he wants. Like, she's acting out and doing the things that she thinks he wants, whether he tells her to or not, just to try and get his approval.
Huh? And when did you become a card?
You know, I've been observing you for a while now, and I realized you really must be missing your dear friends, are you not? I happen to know just the solution. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, precisely! I see you're getting the hang of it. Anywho, it's time for a magical adventure around the continent. And the destination is
yes, and here we have the classic using your own memories against you to traumatize you. Like, this is so dark. Like, he's literally using Pure Vanilla Cookie's own memories against him. And he's also dragging Gingerbrave, Wizard Cookie, and Strawberry Cookie down with him. Also, if you hear bells, that's my cat. She keeps slow blinking at me. Hi, baby. But yeah, and also, if Shadow Milk thinks that Pure Vanilla Cookie's on his side, why does he keep tormenting him? I think it's because that Shadow Milk Cookie doesn't really know how to interact with people who he is friends with. And he only knows how to be in control and be controlling and be mean. So he's doing this, and he needs therapy. He needs therapy because he just doesn't really know how to socialize. And yes, he absolutely is doing this to be mean, but he's also lonely and just deep down doesn't really know how to fix it. So he's just doing so he's just like being controlling. He's trapping these people here and he's torturing them because he's probably trying to scare them into submission in a way. But like, that's not how that works, buddy. Go to therapy.
Watchers, get into position.
What's going on? Are they attacking us?
This reminds me of that scene in the Owl House where the collector's like manipulating Luz's friends, and they're basically having them like say all these horrible things to her and like the things that she believes, and basically confirming all of her fears as true and just like yelling at her and being mad at her. That's what this scene is reminding me of, because Shadow Milk Cookie's using their friends against them. So that just reminds me of that.
Dark Cacao Cookie!
I shall cut you down!
Oh, no. I do not want to fight Dark Cacao Cookie!
Gingerbrave knows he is screwed if he fights Dark Cacao. I mean, he knows he's dead. Also, rather than having the others like offend them and insult them, he's having them fight them. Because with them, it's like, you can have arguments with friends. Friends argue all the time. But, like, fighting friends is the bad thing. So for them, it's like making them fight each other. That's what's hurting them. Like, if they just insulted them, they'd be like, yeah, that's not going to do anything. We know it's you. But making them fight them is going to have a bit more of an effect.
Oh, just look at you. Worrying about your friends? Wanna help them out?
So there's like several ways that you can take this. It's like, first of all, obviously Shadow Milk Cookie is teasing Pure Vanilla, like obviously. And then of course he's also testing him, which he's like, oh, you want to go help your friends? You feel bad for them? If Pure Vanilla Cookie says no and then eventually steps in to attempt to help him, that just proves that he was lying. And if he does nothing and just kind of stands there all apathetic and stuff, it just makes him look more loyal to Shadow Milk Cookie. It makes it appear that he's on Shadow Milk Cookie's side a lot more. And like, if Pure Vanilla Cookie does not have to flat out lie and say, I'm on your side, Shadow Milk Cookie, because obviously Shadow Milk Cookie's not necessarily going to believe that. He's not stupid, and he doesn't trust people. But if Pure Vanilla Cookie, I was going to call him Shadow Milk Cookie, if Pure Vanilla Cookie does nothing that he would normally do. Like, normally he would step in to help his friends. But where he's not doing anything, that's just further proving that he is quote-unquote on Shadow Milk Cookie's side. Now, granted, he's not. He's lying. He's lying about all that. Although he hasn't really had to. He hasn't flat out said, I'm on Shadow Milk Cookie's side. He hasn't. He's lied about small things, and for the big things, he's just he's stated the truth in a way that makes it look like he's on Shadow Milk Cookie's side. He's like, I understand Shadow Milk Cookie. Like, he understands him, but that does not mean he agrees with him. You can understand someone and not agree with them. But like, the way that Pure Vanilla is phrasing his words, he's doing this deliberately so that he can lie as little as possible. So he's usually just stating the truth whenever he's quote-unquote lying.
Halt! Who goes there?
Sound the golden trumpets, for your god has arrived.
Burnt cheese cookie is sleeping in his soul cheese. This is beyond wicked, Shadow Milk Cookie. I'm too tired to stand. The ancient heroes are too strong.
Okay, but like the fact that they won those battles just goes to show that Shadow Milk's not really using the ancients' full power, because if the ancients were at their full power, like if Dark Cacao Cookie decided to take on all of them at the same time, Dark Cacao would win. Like, no doubt in my mind, he'd win. So the fact that they're winning just goes to show that Shadow Milk doesn't want them to die. He wants them to, and frankly, it'd be a lot less dark if he just wanted them to die. But he wants them to be alive so that he can torture them, especially in front of pure vanilla cookie. That makes it a whole lot darker. It'd be less dark if he just wanted them to die, but no, he wants them to be alive for the torture. Yep.
You know nothing of the world's true nature.
Here we see Shadow Milk Cookie using the White Lily Cookie Dark Enchantress Cookie thing to torment people. And White Lily Cookie and Dark Enchantress Cookie are not the same person. I would like to make that perfectly clear. White Lily Cookie's soul was split in half, causing Dark Enchantress Cookie, but even though both of them have the same soul, it was split in half. They're entirely different people. White Lily Cookie is the embodiment of like the good, the freedom, and all that. Dark Enchantress Cookie is the embodiment of evil and everything. Like, White Lily Cookie would never do the stuff that Dark Enchantress Cookie has done, and Dark Enchantress Cookie would never do the stuff that White Lily Cookie would do because they're two separate people, even though they share the same soul, because it was split in half. And Shadow Milk Cookie either does not understand that, or he's just doing it as a way to torment them knowingly. He's doing it to torment them in general, but like he either doesn't know and is just doing it because that's what he thinks and he knows that it's torturing them, or he genuinely does know that they're not the same person and is doing it anyways to torment them. But please leave my baby alone. White Lily Cookie deserves better. I feel so bad for her.
Oh, why? I wanted to see the drama, the despair, the anger. Yes, how sweet. Is that why you love them so much? Whatevs.
I'm sorry, but the way Shadow Milk Cookie is talking, he sounds like a middle school theater kid going through their edgy phase. He's just like, whatevs. Nobody really says that. Also, check out Pure Vanilla Cookie. He's just not really responding, and I think that's because he needs to keep up this lie, and he doesn't like to lie, obviously, so he's just like, I'm gonna just give you the silent treatment because I don't want to talk, and I don't want to lie, so I'm gonna just give you the silent treatment. And then whenever he, like, has to lie, he does, but, like, on, like, the tiny stuff, he's just like, given the silent treatment, he's like, I mean, I'm emo now, so if I give you the silent treatment, you're not going to really think anything of it. I'm just emo.
Cookie! Pure Vanilla Cookie! Can you hear us? Wait for us! We'll be back soon! We need to talk! We aren't giving up! Never! So don't you give up too!
Well. Resonating again, aren't we? I see Pure Vanilla Cookie and you are still connected. Yes, it's time for some drastic measures. Oh, my friend, you will be thrilled to see what I've prepared for you.
Sound the charge!
I'm ready to strike.
I love how Strawberry Cookie says that she had no idea how terrifying Hollyberry was, and that's actually a very accurate point to make, because like Hollyberry is probably like one of the least threatening of the ancients just because of how nice she is. Like, she is just so sweet and so kind that you wouldn't assume that she's like aggressive or that she can fight. It's like, yes, she looks strong, but you don't think that she'll like attack you or anything because of how nice she is. And it's like, she's just too kind to do that. She's too nice to do that, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, yeah, no, if you get on Hollyberry's bad side, she can be one of the most terrifying people that you will meet in the game. Like, seriously, like, she is incredibly powerful. She will do absolutely anything for her friends. So, yeah.
Most meticulously crafted game was too easy for you.
Whoa! It wasn't easy, but it wasn't too hard either.
Why? Just why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you tell him that it wasn't that hard? It wasn't easy, but it wasn't too hard either. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know that's just taunting him. He's like, oh, it wasn't too hard? Okay, well, here's an even harder thing to do. Like, dude, what are you doing?
All hail the great heroes! Really, I applaud you. Not sure if the world is ready for the overwhelming power of your friendship.
Okay, bud, I hate to break it to you, but he's being sarcastic. He is literally the king of sarcasm. I mean, do you really think he'd be nice all of a sudden? Clearly he's being sarcastic. He's like, bleh, friendship, yada, yada, yada. But he's like, oh, the world isn't strong enough to handle your power of friendship. That's clearly sarcasm. Oh, boy.
No, seriously, other cookies should learn from you. The brave, the smart, and the cautious. Truly the role models for all pathetic vermin. Excellent job! Truly remarkable! But enough giggles.
Go!
Sadly for you, there's nowhere to run. This entire tower is part of my dough. Remember? You're in the belly of the beast.
Well, that's incredibly disturbing, having the spire be a part of Shadow Milk Cookie's dough. I mean, how are we supposed to take that? Are they, like, in his stomach? Or in his brain? In his ear? I don't know. What do you mean it's a part of your dough? How am I supposed to analyze it? There's, like, a million ways you could do it. Like, is the spire a part of his stomach? Or, like, what? Is it an extension of your mind? How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to analyze that? I think it's an extension of his mind, just because of all the portraits and the twists and turns and how confusing it is. So I'm pretty certain that it's like an extension of his mind. But boy, that just makes it all more confusing. Being like, oh yeah, this is my very dough. It's like, so I'm inside of you right now? How am I supposed to feel about that? That's probably what Gingerbrave and his friends are thinking. It's like, I don't know how to feel about that. And Gingerbrave's like, I've been in a witch already. Why do I have to be inside you now? I don't know. It's like, this is part of my very dough. What am I supposed to do with that information?
I thoroughly enjoyed having you over. Hope you two had fun! Tisk, tisk. Not a single word of gratitude for your gracious host. Need I remind you, a flick of my wrist will have your dough and souls scattered across my tower.
I'm pretty certain that he's bluffing about his powers at the moment. It's like, yeah, he's incredibly powerful, but he hasn't fully reconnected with the soul jam. Because as he said, it still resonates with Pure Vanilla Cookie, which means he hasn't fully connected with it, which means he's not at full power potential. And yeah, he's ridiculously powerful, but I'm pretty certain that he's over-dramatizing his powers and that he's lying about how powerful he is at this moment.
Or perhaps there is a better solution. What say you? pure vanilla cookie. What would you do with these pesky cookies? The choice is yours. Option 1, I silence them forever.
At this point, I'm wondering if, like, with all the dark stuff that's happened, are they even allowed to say the word kill, or are they just being overly dramatic by being like, silence them forever? Like, Devsis, you've had a lot of dark scenes. I think you can get around using the word kill. So I'm starting to wonder, are they just saying, doing anything they can to avoid the word kill just to be dramatic? Because, like, dude, you literally killed a child with a chandelier. I think you can say the word kill in a game. It's like, I think that they're just trying to avoid using the word kill for their rating, but like, bro, you killed a kid with a chandelier. How is that for kids? And yes, I know that 13 and up, 13 is not a child, quote unquote. I still think the rating should be higher, but granted, I was a very wimpy child. Okay, 13-year-old me would have probably been terrified of some of these stories that I have reviewed. Like with Onion Cookie. Why? I'm still disturbed by her story. And Sherbert's Cookie's story, that one's definitely disturbing as well. But like, just say the word kill at this point. You already used juice for wine, and it's like, everyone knows that juice is wine, okay? You can say wine. So it's like, I think they're just trying to be dramatic, honestly.
Option 2? Oh, you're gonna love this one. You give your soul jam to me.
No! You can't force Pure Vanilla Cookie to make this choice!
The adults are talking.
Oh boy, do I have some choice words to share with you, Shadow Milk Cookie. One, you sound like a literal Karen right now, okay? It's like you're a child playing on the playground or doing your own thing, and Karen notices you and walks over to Mother and starts yelling at Mother about how crappy her child is being. Child comes over to try and defend themselves, but the Karen is like, the adults are talking. You can't, and the child can't even defend themselves. Buddy, that's just what that reminds me of. And 2, he's literally gaslighting children. I mean, Pure Vanilla Cookie's the only non-child here, which means that these children are literally having to play therapist for an adult, all because of Shadow Milk Cookie. And Shadow Milk Cookie is literally the most toxic character in the game. Like, he's literally gaslighting people, he's manipulating people, he's flat out lying. And then, of course, like, the gaslighting just goes deep. Like, seriously. Oh boy, like, it's good how good of a gaslighter he is. And everything I say about him where it's like, oh, he's just lonely, he just doesn't know how to interact, those are not defenses, those are explanations. There is a big difference. If I like say, oh, he's just really lonely, he just doesn't know how to interact with people, so he's just doing that to try and feel better, yada yada yada, that's not defending his actions. He's a bad person and he needs to go down. That's just explaining why he's doing that. Because I feel like whenever you see someone who's just an evil person, it makes it a lot more understandable whenever you understand why they're doing what they're doing. It doesn't justify what they're doing whatsoever. Like, they're still bad people and they need to be punished. But it's just explaining the why they're doing that. Like, so obviously they're going to take down Shadow Milk Cookie eventually, okay? And they're going to have to punish him, which he definitely deserves that. He's a narcissist and he's been targeting children and Pure Vanilla Cookie and the emotionally vulnerable people. He completely deserves to go down. But understanding that he's just lonely and he does not know how to, like, interact with people and all that stuff, I know for a fact that Pure Vanilla Cookie's not going to stick him in that tree again. Because putting him in a tree where he's just alone with his thoughts 24/7 for like hundreds of years, that did not help whatsoever. In fact, that probably made things worse. So it's just the knowing what is causing all of this can cause the good guys to be more compassionate towards him. And be like, okay, so instead of punishing you by isolation, we'll punish you with this. And hopefully he has a chance for redemption. And obviously, if he doesn't, he still needs to be punished. Like, I'm not excusing any of his behavior. His behavior is terrible. He's a terrible person. But I do hope that he gets redeemed, because his story truly is sad. And I'm really excited and also terrified for when we get his backstory, because it's like, how bad of a backstory is he going to have to cause him to do all of this and to cause him to go insane like this? Oh boy.
Think hard. Which option do you like better? Hmm? Look into your heart. Deeper. Deeper. What does it desire? Ah, yes. He swallowed the bait. And no. This time, don't try to do anything smart. This isn't a trick question. Just A or B. Oh, I can't wait to see what you'll pick. Your friends or the light of your soul gem. Which of these holds a greater value to you?
So Shadowmilk has given him a seemingly impossible question to answer. It's like he needs to choose his friends or his soul jam. And we all know that Pure Vanilla Cookie will choose his friends, because friends are the most important thing in the world to him. However, I believe the correct decision would be to choose the soul jam, because of the fact that it's basically choosing your friend's life or the world's life. And if you give the soul jam and then you get your friends back, there's no guarantee that you and your friends won't be killed anyways. Because giving Shadowmilk the soul jam is basically giving him ultimate power. So there's literally, the safest bet would be keeping the soul jam for yourself and losing your friends, or at least trying to save them. There's not really a better option, because like, if he just says, my friends, here's my soul jam, Shadowmilk could go, oh hey look, your soul jam, you know what I could do? Thanos your friends, and just snap, and then bam, they're gone. Like, dude, there's really no guarantee. And then of course you could also be like, oh look, the soul jam that is mine. You know what I can do? I can blow up the universe, and now everyone's dead. I mean, dude.
Oh, I wonder. Which of these makes you who you are?
Literally tying into every single thing I've said about Shadowmilk Cookie from the first part of this, where it's like, he thinks he needs his soul jam because he thinks that's what makes him him. He thinks that it'll fix everything that's wrong with him if he gets his soul jam. It's his source of stability. It's his sense of self. So whenever he's like, what makes you who you are? Is it the soul jam or is it your friends? For Pure Vanilla Cookie, it's his friends. But for Shadowmilk, it's a soul jam, and he's kind of projecting his own problems onto Pure Vanilla Cookie. And so by him being like, which one makes you you? It's like, we all know the answer would be his friends. But Shadowmilk Cookie doesn't, because Shadowmilk Cookie does not really grasp the concept of friendship. So for him, it's like the soul jam is what makes me who I am. It's what makes Pure Vanilla who he is, but I need the soul jam because I need to be who I am. So, yeah, it's just...
Time's up! Your choice is... Oh, hello, beautiful! Yes, come to Papa! Really? How can anyone be so easily fooled?
What did I just say? Surrender the soul jam? Lose your friends anyways. I did not see that coming. I also did. I keep contradicting myself, and I don't even know what I believe at this point. Thanks a lot, Shadowmilk Cookie. You've ruined my brain. Oh boy. But like, you give up the soul jam, you lose your friends anyways. Like, it's Shadow Milk Cookie. Did you really think that he'd be true to his word?
Oh, how sweet of you. But what is life without a little lie? And besides, this is all your fault.
Oh my gosh, Shadow Milk is literally playing with his guilt complex. He's like, this is all your fault. It is not. This has nothing to do with Pure Vanilla Cookie. Nothing that has happened is his fault. It's entirely Shadow Milk's fault. He's literally gaslighting him and blaming him, which is only causing his mental health to go down, and it's making his guilt complex a whole lot worse. And it does not need to be worse. It was only just starting to heal, and then Shadow Milk Cookie has to come and be like, oh, look at this delicate little flower that is Pure Vanilla Cookie's self-confidence. I'm gonna crush it. Bam! And then we got Pure Vanilla Cookie over here who's literally having a mental breakdown. He's literally like, oh, he looks like he's about to start having a panic attack. Leave him alone. I mean, he's been through so much already. He has to have so much PTSD. Like, he already had PTSD over Dark Enchantress Cookie. It's gonna be so much worse. Oh boy. Shadow Milk Cookie, you've done enough damage. You won. Leave him alone! And that's all for today's video, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!